what did we talk about? Yes. So we talked about, where is it? We talked about five very strange museums around the world. The Hamburger Museum, the Shoe Museum in the Philippines, the Underwater Sculpture Museum in Cancun, and we also have the Museum of Bad Arts in Massachusetts, and Miniature Wonderland in Germany. So these five very interesting and kind of strange museums, we talked about them, and we also we checked our opinions. Which ones do you think are the most interesting? Which ones would you like to visit? So we talked about all of that, and we also covered this part, which is about vocabulary, and we guessed the meanings of these words, and we also learned the meaning of the new words like bizarre, peckish. I think maybe these two were new. The rest, I think you kind of understood from context. And we talked about this very important skill, which is a requirement for any student who wants to be good in reading, or who wants to get good results in reading exams, just like the IELTS exam, for example. You need to have a good guessing meaning from context ability. If you have it, this will of course help you a lot. If you don't, it will make reading and comprehension very difficult for you. So it's an important skill at this level. We talked about this. I don't know if we did we do the pink words? Yeah, we did. We also finished the pink words. We checked them in the summary, but we didn't do the listening. So now let's talk a little bit about this. So it says here, let's talk about the things that you can do for free in Tripoli. So it says, where can you go for a free day out in the town or in the city you're in now? So maybe, okay, Malak, you're not in Tripoli, but for example, let's say we visit you in your city in Sabah. What are some of the things we can do, or some of the places we can go around town? Gardens?
Yes, parks, small parks.
Small parks? Are they city parks, or do you mean private property?
No, not yes. There are property parks.
Private parks.
Yes, private parks. Yes.
So they're not city parks.
No.
Oh, okay, but
there are some of them. It's open
for the public.
Everybody can go there. Yeah, public.
Okay.
And there are a lot of games for kids can play.
All right. But the ones you're talking about are private. But can you
No, public and private.
Both. Okay.
Yes.
But the private ones you have to pay to enter.
Yes, because there are a lot of things like chairs and tables, food, and also it's for families and women.
But are they cheap or expensive to enter?
Not expensive. Yes, it's cheap. I didn't go there before that, but the people told about them.
But how much is the entry, for example, for a family?
Maybe for everyone, $2, maybe.
Just two?
Yes.
$2 for one person.
Yes.
So they're cheap, I think, not too expensive.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But I think here maybe the question, they want more about free days, but public parks maybe. Okay, let's see Hajar. Hajar, what about Tripoli? Let's say Malak is coming to Tripoli and all of us are meeting and we want to go around town, visit some places. Which places can we go to for free in Tripoli?
For free, we can go to the beach.
Okay.
We can go to the
But
Corniche.
but the beach, is it really free? I think most beaches are not free anymore.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
in summer, but in now in the winter it's free. Also, there's Forosia.
Okay. But what can you do there? Is it free?
Yeah, it's free.
You can
So
walk, you can
sit
run.
there. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
There's days for only women's and days for men. So it's more comfortable. Also, there's many gardens you can visit.
There are many? Are there?
Yeah.
I think there's just one. The one in front of the, you know, the beach in in Shot Road, near Zawid Dahmani, that area, that park.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can think
also,
of.
there's a new one. There's a new one. It's front of Libya, maybe. It's for free.
Is it close to the sea?
Yeah. It's very clear, and it is very nice, really.
But that's part of the Corniche itself, right?
No. It's no.
Is it green? Is it like grass and tables and stuff?
Yes. Yeah. There's study there for playing.
Study?
No, studio.
Studio, a studio.
Studio, yeah. It's a nice place.
Are you talking about Tripoli?
Yeah.
I think I haven't, because of my online work, I haven't been out for a very long time. I don't know what's going on.
It's open before the corona, and then closed, but now it's opened again. It's very nice place, really.
And it's free?
Yeah, it's free. And you can visit if you anytime. It's not like a Forosia, because there's days for women and days for men all day. But this garden, it's I think.
Is it big? Is it big like the other one near what's the place? Are you talking about the one? I think you're talking about the same one. And I don't think it's near Ljubljana. It's near. Do you know, near the two big flags? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No.
The one near the flags. Do you know the one near the flags? The big flags.
No. This one is about it is not behind the sea, not near the sea. It's across.
So this one is across the road.
Yeah.
It's on the same side as the Corniche.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's behind. It's
in front of. You think it's in front of Ljubljana?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So that sounds good. I think maybe we should visit.
Also, there's
there are
some
other
gardens, but not free.
You mean like private?
Private, yeah.
Parks. Okay. All right. Okay. This is good. So at least there are some examples of places to go to for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hi, can you hear us?
Hi, how are you?
How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of listening now. We're going to listen to a radio program about 3 days out in London. All right, so the speaker or the person speaking is going to tell us about some interesting places that we can visit in London for free. So this is the list of places that you can go and visit in London for free. But what we want to do is we just want to put them in the correct order that she talks about them. So she's not going to mention them in the same order here. So we need to pay a little bit of attention to find out which ones are first, second, third, and so on. Okay, so let's go to the listening track and let me play it for you. 36. So let's find out. 136.
Track 36.
And with the weekend just around the corner, I have with me in the studio Gabrielle Wallace from the excellent website londonfornothing.com to tell us how to enjoy London for free.
Hi there.
Welcome to the programme, Gabrielle. To a lot of people, London appears to be a very expensive city to visit.
Well, it can be, but there are actually a lot of things you can do in the city for free.
Such as?
Well, of course, you don't have to pay to visit many of London's museums or art galleries, such as the British Museum or the National Gallery.
Right.
And if you'd prefer to wander around the city on your own, you can download free walking tours onto your phone. My favourite is the tour of the area around London Bridge, which is really interesting. And all the tours come with a free downloadable map, so you don't get lost.
OK. And is there anywhere you can hear some free music?
Yes, there is actually. For example, there's free jazz at the National Theatre 6 days a week. And if you go to the Royal Opera House at lunchtime on Mondays, you can enjoy some free opera.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, and you can also go and see a radio or TV programme being recorded. I've seen a few TV comedies and chat shows being made, and they're always great fun. And the audience always gets in for free.
And how do you get tickets?
You normally have to apply online. There are various websites that specialise in free tickets.
Right. And what about more unusual days out?
Well, you can visit the Houses of Parliament, of course. Anyone can queue up and go in for free, and then you can watch a live debate from the public gallery.
I'm sure that would be very interesting.
Yes, it can be. And it's worth going just to go inside the building, which is very impressive, of course. But if you want to go on an official tour, you have to pay, unfortunately.
Right.
And you can also go and watch a trial at the Old Bailey, which is the biggest criminal court in the country. If you get a good case, it can be absolutely fascinating. But don't forget to take some ID with you.
And what about if you have to entertain children for the afternoon?
Well, why not take them to a city farm? There are about 13 in the city, and most of them are free. And at all of these places, children are allowed to feed the animals, play with the rabbits or whatever.
Gabrielle, thank you for coming in to see us today. For free, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay. So it actually turns out that you can do a lot of things for free in London. I wish I knew this in 2013. Okay. I didn't like London very much because it was, very expensive, and it felt like you're paying a lot but not getting as much as you're paying. All right, so let's put these in the correct order. So what did they mention first? The first thing that the girl talked about. What did she?
Museums
Me-
and
music, museums and galleries.
Correct.
gallery.
Yeah, that's the first thing she mentioned. The museums and art galleries. Correct. What else?
download
download.
Walking tours. Maybe download. Walking, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the downloadable walking tours, she also mentioned them. Mhm. What else did she?
And about free
The
music.
houses.
Music,
The houses
free
from
music.
I think
The-
free music was before the Houses of Parliament,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the houses of Parliament.
And after that, I think she talked about the Houses of Parliament, right? After music.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's radio,
before.
radio and TV program, I think.
Maybe.
Yes, radio. Yes, radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number five,
Yeah.
number 5 radio and TV programs.
You think?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think Houses of Parliament is 4?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 different answers. Let's write both of them.
Then city farms.
Okay.
Then
And the
no,
trial.
then trial.
Farm.
Trial at the Old Bailey.
Yes.
Okay.
And city farms.
I think City
The
Farms was the
is
last
City
one,
Farms. Yeah.
right? Okay. Interesting. All right, now, before we listen again to check our answers, let's see if we can answer the second part of the listening questions. Number 1, it says it's free to visit the British Museum. Is that true?
No.
No?
Yeah, some of them.
But here they're talking about one, the British Museum.
Museums.
The main one. Then
Oh.
is it free to visit it?
No, I think no.
You think no? You have thinks no.
Yes.
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
Not a little, not very much. It doesn't cost a lot.
So it's
Yes, she talks about that. It's not free, but
not expensive.
it's not expensive.
Okay, let's put both answers, yes and no, because we're not really sure. And then we can listen again and check. All right, number 2, you need to take a map when you follow a downloadable walking tour.
Yeah.
Do you need to take a map with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you think yes. Then it says you can see free opera at lunchtime on Sundays.
No.
Yeah. Free opera.
Yeah.
But not lunchtime.
Not lunchtime.
Maybe from
I
the
don't
site.
know about
they-
time, but it's free opera.
Is it lunchtime? Is it Sundays?
I don't know.
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Is it opera?
Yeah.
There is
it's
something
mentioned
free,
opera.
but maybe you will get tickets from a site. Don't know.
So should we leave number 3? You're not really sure. Nobody's sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave it. Number 4, you can get tickets online to see a TV program being recorded.
Maybe that's what I
Yeah.
talked
True.
about. Yes.
You think this is true, Malak? That's right? Is that what you think?
Yes.
Okay. You can go on a tour of the Houses of Parliament for free. What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I can't remember that. I'm not sure about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's answer it as true, and then we can change it if we need to. You need some ID to get into the Old Bailey.
Yeah, true.
You think that's true?
Yes.
You can't feed the animals at the city farms.
No, you can.
You can?
Yes.
Mm.
I think you play. I don't.
You can play with the animals.
I hear about play with the animals, but like rabbits,
Maybe.
but I
Maybe-
don't know about read.
Do you mean it? These city farms, are they like for example nurseries where you can leave the children with the animal and you go around London?
No.
No?
No, but they can. Maybe they can feed. Yeah.
But do you think we should have something like this, a service like this? This way the kids they can play with the animals, and if they get hungry, there's food. I mean, they can eat the animals' food and they can
Yes.
stay there with the animals. And you can leave them and you can go around sightseeing, go to cafes, go to the shopping.
No, I can't.
Without the children crying, for example, and because they're
Good idea. That's a good idea.
if I had children, this is what I would do. I'd leave them with the animals because they're like animals. They're not very different.
Oh.
Okay, now let's check our answers. So it says here you can't feed. So you think this is false. Okay, so let's see your answers. I think many of them are correct from what I remember, but there are so many details. I think we need to listen again. Okay, so let's listen.
Track 36.
And with the weekend just around the corner, I have with me in the studio Gabrielle Wallace from the excellent website londonfornothing.com to tell us how to enjoy London for free.
Hi there.
Welcome to the programme, Gabrielle. To a lot of people, London appears to be a very expensive city to visit.
Well, it can be, but there are actually a lot of things you can do in the city for free.
Such as?
Well, of course, you don't have to pay to visit many of London's museums or art galleries, such as the British Museum or the National Gallery.
Right.
And if you'd prefer to wander around the city on your own, you can download free walking tours onto your phone. My favourite is the tour of the area around London Bridge, which is really interesting. And all the tours come with a free downloadable map, so you don't get lost.
OK. And is there anywhere you can hear some free music?
Yes, there is actually. For example, there's free jazz at the National Theatre 6 days a week. And if you go to the Royal Opera House at lunchtime on Mondays, you can enjoy some free opera.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, and you can also go and see a radio or TV programme being recorded. I've seen a few TV comedies and chat shows being made, and they're always great fun. And the audience always gets in for free.
And how do you get tickets?
You normally have to apply online. There are various websites that specialise in free tickets.
Right. And what about more unusual days out?
Well, you can visit the Houses of Parliament, of course. Anyone can queue up and go in for free, and then you can watch a live debate from the public gallery.
I'm sure that would be very interesting.
Yes, it can be. And it's worth going just to go inside the building, which is very impressive, of course. But if you want to go on an official tour, you have to pay, unfortunately.
Right.
And you can also go and watch a trial at the Old Bailey, which is the biggest criminal court in the country. If you get a good case, it can be absolutely fascinating. But don't forget to take some ID with you.
And what about if you have to entertain children for the afternoon?
Well, why not take them to a city farm? There are about 13 in the city, and most of them are free. And at all of these places, children are allowed to feed the animals, play with the rabbits or whatever.
Gabrielle, thank you for coming in to see us today. For free, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this means the first part we answered it, all of it was correct.
Number 3 is wrong. Number 3
Yeah, it's
on
wrong.
Mondays.
On
Mondays.
Mondays, exactly. So it's false. What about number 2? Do you need a map?
Yes. To because maybe you lost if you don't.
What do you think, Haj? Do we need a map?
Yeah, I think it
No,
mentioned
you don't need the map.
Why not? Yeah. Why don't you need a map?
I didn't listen good, but I thought that.
It's correct. You don't need a map because the downloadable walking tour, it comes with a free map.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's
You get the idea. So you don't
okay,
have to
yeah.
buy or bring another map because it comes with the map.
Mm.
They give you the map. When you download it, the map is also downloaded for free. So you don't really need another map. So this means it's false. What about number 4? Is it right? Is it correct?
yes.
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 Number 5, you can go on a tour of the Houses of Parliament for free.
Yes.
But she also mentioned there's
But
another.
she also mentioned, yeah,
Hmm,
if you want to go to the official tour or something like that,
that's it.
you have to pay.
Correct. The official tour is not free, but a normal tour is okay. It's free. Depends on the type of tour. Correct. It says you need some ID to get into the Old Bailey. Was this correct? Like you said,
Yes.
it's correct.
Yeah.
And number 7, I think, is also correct, right? You can feed the animals.
Yeah.
Can or can't?
You can.
You can.
You can. It's
Also,
allowed.
you can play with them.
You can also play with them.
Yeah.
You can feed, okay. You can feed. Okay, correct. All right, now this is a general question here. Last question, sorry. There was a bit of a disagreement. Which one is first? Is it the radio and TV programs, or is it the House of Parliament? Which one did the woman talk about first in order? What was it? Which one?
Radio and TV program.
That's correct.
Radio then House Parliament.
The radio was first, Houses of Parliament next. 4, 5. So 4 is the radio and 5 is the Houses of Parliament. That's correct. All right, now the last question here, this is an open speaking question for you. It says, which of the free activities that they mentioned here would you like to try, or would you like to visit? For you, Hajar, which ones would you like to try?
Maybe the museums and art galleries. Also the radio and TV programs. It's interesting.
Yeah, to see how they're recorded, how they're made.
Yeah. I don't know what's the it's Old Bailey or
Old Bailey.
Old Bailey. Yeah.
But do you know what the word means? A trial. What does it mean?
No.
Who knows what this word means? A trial.
It's something like محاكمة.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the meaning. So it means if there's a criminal and there's a case, you can watch the case. And then see if the criminal will be
guilty or not.
Yeah, but here of course we can't say criminal, we can just say suspect maybe, or we can say the accused, because he's not convicted yet, so he's still not a criminal, he's maybe just a suspect or something. Old Bailey, this means Old Bailey is a courthouse. It's a courthouse.
Yeah.
You'd also like to see
No.
a trial? No?
We have a lot of in Libya for free.
Yeah, a lot of courthouses, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, true, we do. I don't know if we use them, but we do.
No, not about the criminal or for something. It's free to watch them.
Yes.
Yes.
Almost everything happening around us is one way or another illegal and criminal. So You don't need to see other criminals. We've got enough.
Online مباشر.
Yeah, live. You can just see them live.
Live.
Committing crime in front of your eyes. You don't need to. We don't need to even see the trial because we can see the crime itself. So
Yeah.
you have a point. Okay, what about walking tours? What do you think of walking tours? Do you think they're interesting, Hajar? Would you like to go on a walking tour? You know, follow the instruction, the tour guide on audio, or do you think it's not very interesting?
No, it's very boring to walk with someone talking too much.
You are not interested.
No.
What about the city farms?
Yeah.
You think that's fun?
Yeah.
You
Sure.
can, if you have nieces or nephews, you can leave them there and finish your tour around.
No, I love children, so
You love them.
I will play with them.
Okay. So you wouldn't leave them there. Just let them feed the
No.
animals and then take them. But
Yes.
what if the kids want to stay? Usually kids want to stay with animals. You know, they feel the connection. They don't feel they're very different. Maybe they
Yeah,
want to play
I'll
with them.
stay with them. Yeah.
Okay. What about free music? What's your opinion on free music? What do you think? Jazz?
No,
You're not interested
I'm
in
not
jazz?
interested.
You're not a fan
No.
of jazz? Okay.
No.
Let's see, Ihab. What do you think of all these free places to visit in London? Which ones are the most interesting for you? Where would you like to go?
I wanted to go to museum and art galleries and also trial at the Old Bailey.
A trial at the Old Bailey.
Bailey, yes.
That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so you're not very interested in the other places.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about Malak? Which of these places do you find interesting? Of these free activities,
I want to go to city farms. And downloadable walking tour.
Okay, so you would like
museums.
to.
Yes, I'd like to visit museums and art galleries.
Okay. All right, interesting. I think that's interesting. Okay, so this is just an example of some of the free activities, some of the free things you can do there. Okay, what about free music? Are you interested in jazz, Malak?
No,
not
I don't like free music, no.
Okay. All right, so what we have here, we have a bit of linking. Okay, so actually there are 3 different sounds here that we will listen to. These sounds sometimes come as a result of linking. So what you'll notice is there's an extra sound, an extra w sound or y sound or r sound in some endings of words when they start with or when they end with these sounds. So what we want to do is just listen to them or see how it happens. And that's all. I think that's all they want us to do. Just listen to these sentences, and they want us to notice these linking sounds. Just notice them. Nothing more, I think. So that's what we're going to do. So, but let me read the idea or the point they're trying to make here. It says, when a word ends in a vowel sound and the next word also starts with a vowel sound, we often link these words with a w or a y or a r. So in order to hear these 3 sounds, the 2 words, it means there's a meeting of 2 vowels. Because vowels are too similar to each other, usually you cannot link them without adding an extra sound. This is the whole idea. Because if you remember when we previously talked about linking, we always mention a consonant linked with a vowel. Now, when a consonant is linked to a vowel, we don't need an extra sound because it's clear. So for example, if you say She went on a date. Now this sentence, for example, on a date. Now, because here you have N, which is a consonant, then you have, oops, we don't want this. Then you have the A on, and then you have another consonant, vowel and consonant. So there's a link here that goes on in this word. And actually the same thing here, the T and the O. This is consonant vowel linking, consonant vowel. So you have consonant vowel, vowel, consonant. So here there are no extra sounds. She went on a date, went on a date, went on a date, went on a date. It's linked together, went on a date. Now here the story is different in today's part because these are two vowels together. And I'm just going to show you the first example I'll talk about. But then after that, you don't need to talk about it too much. You can just listen to it. Can you see this? To a lot of people, to a lot, to a lot, to a lot. If I slow down, the W sound will come out. To what? Can you hear it? To a lot. So we don't say to a lot. No, this sound, it actually comes automatic. You don't really need to think of it. Even if you're talking normally, it kind of comes out. To a lot of people, to a lot, to a lot. And the reason for this added sound is because we have the O and the A. Another example of an added sound, bia, bia. So there's a y sound, bia. It's not bia, bia. Bia, very, very expensive, very expensive, yeah. Again, another added sound, and so on. This is the idea. But sometimes we also have the R sound. There are actually, this one, there are actually. So there's another ra, there are actually. So it's a bit hard to hear. Anyways, this is the idea. I'm just trying to get the point. Now, if you hear it, if you listen to it on the track, it'll make much more sense. Let's see if this is all of it. We still have another part. Okay, so let's listen to it. That's all we want to do. Just listen to it, to this beginning, and notice the linking. So let me take you to the track.
7.
To a lot of people, London appears to be a very expensive city to visit.
There are actually a lot of things you can do in the city for free. My favourite is the tour of the area around London Bridge. And you can also go and see a radio or TV programme being recorded.
Radio.
Yeah. Did you hear the third one? My favorite is the tour of the area. There's a lot of area. There's a ya and a ra, and she does it very quickly. I'm just going to play it one last time.
The area around.
The area around.
Exactly. To a lot of people, London appears to be a very expensive city to visit.
There are actually a lot of things you can do in the city for free.
There are actually.
My favourite is the tour of the area around London Bridge. And you can also go and see a radio or TV programme being recorded.
So the area around, the area around, the area around. So it's almost like one word together. The area around, the area around. Tour of the area around, tour of the area around.
Like to R.
Yeah, because exactly, that's the idea. So this is the point. Anyways, there's nothing much to say about this except notice it. They just want us to notice these sounds. And if you watch the news, if you listen to series, movies, natives do this. It's part of their normal speech. Okay, now in part 6, they want you to think of a free time activity you've done recently. Choose one of these ideas or your own, then make notes on what happened that day. Okay. So these are some of the things that you might have done. So all they want you to do here in this exercise is just mention a free time activity. Now it has to be free. Oh, no, it doesn't. It just says free time activity. Okay, so I thought it was like the tour of London. So this means you could talk about anything, free, not free, anything you've done recently. And if it's not in your city, or if it's in another city, you can also mention it. That's fine. If it's in your own city, you can also talk about that. But first, I'm just going to give you a minute, and I need a minute to switch on my light because I have a power cut now. So I'm just going to give you, I'm going to give you a minute to think of these, the words in the box.
Can we pray the first?
Ah, yes, it's prayer time too. Okay, let's have a prayer break, and we'll come out after we pray.
Okay, thanks.
Okay then. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Hi.
Hi
Okay.
again.
Okay. Who's back? So you're back. Okay. It looks like Hajar is not back yet. Okay. So you can start, Malak. Tell us a little bit about a free time activity that you've had recently. You can mention any things you've done with the kids, with the family, on your own, you know, anything in your free time recently.
Okay. We didn't have a lot of things of this parties, but at mid vacation, I go to outside the country and visiting all of this, maybe museums and cinemas and an art gallery, the theater.
So you mean on your last
with my
holiday?
family. Yes,
Okay.
yes, and visiting the beach. But now in my town, I can't do anything. Just a party, maybe visiting a party for my family. One of my family, if they have wedding, maybe we can go to the party. And visiting friends, yes, I do that before, maybe from 5 years ago.
5 years?
Yes, ago.
The last time you visited your friend was 5 years ago?
Yes. But we asked about my friend is on our phone, on my phone. Yes.
But you don't meet?
Talked a lot. Yes, we didn't meet from a lot of time.
Is there a reason for this, or is it normal?
Yes, because I didn't have anybody to take me to them and
bring you back and
yes, I can't go to anywhere. Just my work with my kids.
I see. Okay. Let's see Hajar here. Hajar, tell us a little bit about the last time you had some free time and what you did, where you went, things you visited.
Okay, I have a lot of free time actually. So every day I have free time. But if I want to talk about what in the box, the last free time I had visiting my friends. It's about last week, I think. Yeah, it's last week.
Okay, so you visited your friends last week?
Yes, we met in our friend's house. Yeah, so we have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay. But you don't have to talk about only about the things in the box. You can mention any activities or anything you've done. Doesn't have to be from the box, because I don't think we have art galleries in the cinema and sports events. Yeah,
Yes.
it's just a little noisy. Someone's talking. Okay, so anything else, Hal?
In my free time, I just read a book or coloring.
You also color? You like to?
Yes.
You like to? What kind of drawings do you like to color?
Mostly it's animals. Yeah. So that's my free time, what I do.
Okay. What about the last time you went on holiday? Maybe you've tried any of these activities on your last holiday.
Last holiday, yeah, we went to the zoo. Yeah, it was in Egypt.
Right.
So we went to the zoo with my nephews.
Mm-hmm. What was the
We
highlight
had
of the zoo? The thing
crowded
that
people more than animals.
more people than animals.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And it was very, very, very dirty.
It was dirty.
As we know, Egypt. It's
Yeah.
just Egypt.
Yeah. And how were the animals? Did they look healthy or hungry? What do you think?
No, at all.
They looked hungry.
Yeah, they
Poor
are
thing.
very tiny, very dirty.
Mm.
But yeah, you know, when you have a kid, you want the yeah.
Anything else? You
We
did in
have
Egypt?
fun.
You had fun.
Yeah, but no, we didn't have. We didn't. Oh, yes, we went to the cinema with my brother. Yeah.
Okay.
This.
So they just want here, they just want you to talk about free time activity, things that you've done, free time activities. I think that's all they want here in this closing question. Okay, let's see. Ihab, can you tell us about these things or some of these things? When was the last time you've done any of these activities? Maybe the last time you went on holiday. Can you mention what you did?
Yes. You mean last week or
It could be last
free time?
week, I don't know, anytime, last week, last month, your
Yes.
last holiday.
Usually I don't have activities because I have hard work. So just maybe I go with my friend to cafe, maybe watch the match.
Mhm.
Just I don't really this day I don't have any activities.
So these days you're busy. You don't have any free time these days.
Yes. You see that because maybe I talk with I attended to this course and maybe I cannot to attend this course for
Yes.
this class. Yeah, yes, just
That's
because I have hard
You're
work.
busy, but that's
Yeah.
okay. You don't have to attend. You can just pay for the course, and I mean, I don't have a problem. Just pay for it, and if you don't want to attend, no problem.
Yeah. Yes. Just if I can't talk any or talk
It's
with you
okay.
or yeah, just I can listen. Maybe I improve my listening. Don't
No,
I
for me
don't
it's okay.
yes.
As long as you're paying, it's okay. I'm just joking. Now, of course, it would be a lot better if you can participate like now and talk, and of course it's better. But I understand that you're very busy, and most of the time during the lesson you're already at work, so it's hard to always answer. And that's fine. That's okay. But whenever you can, whenever you feel you can talk, always join in. Ask if you have questions. Share your answers. Of course, that's better than just listening, only listening.
Yes, I tried to do that. I
Mhm.
just if I listen, but I had some question about this course, but I can't talk because I have work.
I
So
see.
maybe I become silent to all this course.
It's
Just
okay, no
today,
problem.
if I am free.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, so this is all I think for this lesson about free time activity, strange museums, that kind of thing. So let's see our next topic now. Let's take a look. So here in our next topic, come on. The mouse is being stupid. Okay, let's use the other mouse. Okay, so let's check our next lesson. So in this lesson, okay, it's working. All right, this is actually quite interesting. So here in this lesson, we want to focus on, where is it? Let me just put it in a box. So I talked a little bit about this in our in the preview from our last lesson when I told you this is what we'll talk about today. So there's a very important skill in debating, or when you're talking with someone, or when you're not really arguing, but debating, or maybe have two different opinions. Let's say I think Formula One is a great sport, but you don't really like it. You think it's boring, or you think it's not really a sport. So we have two different opinions. So how can we have a discussion without sounding rude or aggressive or obnoxious or whatever? Do you get the idea? In this lesson, we will learn a few phrases and a few techniques which will help soften your opinions to make it sound like you're gentle, you're kind of polite, you disagree, but in a gentle way, in a soft way. You're not really aggressive, you're not rude. Do you get the idea? And I think this is helpful. I'm sure we could benefit a lot from something like this if we do it in Arabic when we're discussing in Libya, because we don't do any of this. Because if you have a slightly different opinion from your friend or your brother or your sister or your father, everybody goes mad. So let's say you come from a family who loves football. So if you say anything bad about football, you're dead. Even if you say, for example, football is not always fun. If you say this, it's a crime and everybody goes insane. So in this lesson, we will learn how to soften our opinions, how to make generalizations, how to sound, less rude. This is the whole idea. So let's start with the first question. We have some general questions, some general speaking questions here. So the first question, it says, do you or people you know support a football team? If so, why did you choose that team, or why did they choose the team? Here we're talking about friends or family. So, who would like to answer this question? Does anybody support a football team here? Ihab doesn't look like someone who. Oh, Ihab, you talked actually. No, how'd you know? You don't support football. What about at home? Do you have any football fanatics? Maybe your brothers, or maybe your father, uncles,
Yeah, my brother.
Your brother, he really likes football?
Yeah.
Do you know which team
he doesn't watch it in our house because he's alone, so he going out with as a friend. Yeah, he love take Juventus.
Juventus. Okay. So he's let me make a guess. So he's in his mid 30s, right? That's his age.
Yeah.
Do you see how I guessed? If you want to know how old someone is in Libya, if they support Italian teams, they're in their 30s. If they support Spanish teams, they're in their 20s. Because because Spanish teams weren't popular until recently.
Not now.
Yeah, but now many people support Spanish teams, Real, Barca. But in the past, 15, 20 years ago, everybody we only knew the Italian calcio, the Italian league.
Just because famous player, not about this about
correct
about Barca or like that.
Yes. You're right, because most famous players in the past, they were in the Italian league. You had Ronaldinho, you had Ronaldo. Before they went to Spain, they started in Italy, in Italian clubs.
Yeah. And also Premier League, also
the British one. Now. Yeah, the English. But I remember 20 years ago, 15 years ago, nobody liked the Premier League, nobody liked the English league, nobody liked the Spanish league. Everybody liked the Italian league. So Libyans are either Juventus, Inter, Milan. very, very few of them are Roma, but the rest Inter, Milan, Juventus, that's all. But now you've got other options, so. But tell us about yourself, Ihab. What about you? Which team do you support? I think you're Real Madrid. I don't know, I have a feeling you are Real Madrid.
Really? No,
Yes.
no.
Okay, what team do you support?
This mistake. I was fans about this Barcelona because just two players, Neymar and Messi and Suarez. But just Suarez and Neymar left this Barcelona. I left Barcelona.
So now who do you support now?
Now I parasite, just parasite.
You don't have a team.
No, yes, I don't have a team.
I think.
Because I think not good player, not good to play. Just I don't know, but just boring, match boring.
Without them, the match is boring.
Yes, because without famous player like any Messi, Neymar, because this I'm facing. But about another maybe skills you have, Messi, Neymar skills about winning player, just and another team not have skills about this player. Maybe because I don't have a team, just parasite. If my friend this fans this team, I against this team.
That's what I do. That's what I used to do.
Yes.
I used to do this because I was never interested in football, but when I had to go with my friends, I always supported the opposite team. And this is a good technique because if their team wins, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care about football. But if their team loses, this makes me happy. So it's a win-win situation. I always support the opposite team, and they get very upset and angry.
But I am following this. I am follow this team, and I don't know this team. I am follow this team about Instagram or Facebook. I follow this news about this team.
So you're a real football fan. You like football in general.
Yes, in general, yes. But now I don't have a team. Maybe Messi if transfer or what?
Transfers.
Yes, transfers another team. Maybe I will
support it again.
Yeah, support again because Barcelona now to not good. Also Real Madrid because I told you about this Spanish
Spanish league.
Yeah, Spanish league not good because you see that about Barcelona and Real so bad about Champion League and like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Italy and Premier League.
You mean the Italian league is getting better now?
Yes, and the Premier League, yes. Premier League team about like group, a player like a group, not like Barcelona. Messi absent, Barcelona too bad, like Real Madrid also. But the Premier League not affected another if absent player or like that.
Yes. You think the whole team plays together, teamwork together?
Yeah, teamwork.
Okay, well, kind of agree with you. Anyway, so you can see where they're going with the questions in the book already. They're trying to get opposite opinions here because this is what we're going to hear now in this listening track. First of all, they want us to take a look at the photo. All right, so can you see the photo here? So you have the men watching and supporting their team, and then you have the women being annoying because this is what they do. this is their job. Okay, so my question now is, what do you see from the photo here? What do you think is going on, Malak? From the way
maybe the argument about the match. Maybe they make some yes about match. They're talking about match.
Do you think maybe the women support different teams, or do you think maybe the women don't care about football?
Maybe she likes football, and she wants a team to win. Maybe
Okay, good opinion. Maybe.
her team. She has a favorite team.
Okay. What do you think, Hajar, from this photo, the way you see it here? And you can see that here we have Charlie on the left. This is Daniel. We have Rebecca and Lisa. What do you think?
I think they the two of women's they want to go out, but the men's want to watch TV, watch the match. So they are in argument, or maybe they want to use the TV to watch the series, and the men want to. But
Yeah.
I don't. I think they want to go out.
This is also possible.
And
But
the man doesn't want to.
yeah, they're saying, just forget about it. We're not moving till the match is over.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the men? Do they look like they're supporting the same team? What do you think?
I don't know. Yes, I think.
You think, yeah? From the way they're sitting next to each other, you think maybe?
Yeah, because I watched the boys when they were watching the match. If they are not the same team, they sitting separately.
That's true.
Because they're fighting.
Yeah, because nobody wants to get punched or kicked, so they keep a distance. They keep a safe distance. You're right about that. Maybe these are good scenarios. You might be right. I'm not sure, but I think you might be right. So, but let's check the question. Let's see if you're right about this. It says, look at the photo, then watch and listen. Why don't Rebecca and Lisa like football very much? Yeah, what do you think?
I talk with the two girls. Just women wear a green tea that I think has nothing with nothing relation with this match. Just a blink. This women don't know about this match. Just a blink, بس blink or playing. Blink, yes, blink.
Just annoying.
Annoy, yes.
So they're just here to annoy the men, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. They do look annoying, especially the one on the right. She's so annoying. Look at her. I think if I were her husband, I'll let her stay at her parents' house tonight because she's looking very annoying. Okay, so now we already know from the question, it says that Rebecca and Lisa don't like football very much, and they've already, we already know this from the question. But I think, can we guess? Can you guess why they're not interested? I mean, maybe Hajar and Malak, you can tell us why you're not very interested in football. I mean, for example, I'm a boy. I'm not very interested in football, but I understand why men are interested in it. I do understand. It's just I used to be interested in it when I was maybe in high school, but I don't know. I don't think it's very interesting anymore. I like to see the goals, for example. If I go on YouTube or if there's a sports news, I like to see the goals, but not just in football, any sports. See the top moves, the top goals. I like this. The top players, this is fun. But to see the whole match, I think, no. But Hajar, as a woman, why do you think many women are not very interested in football? Or even about yourself, in your opinion? Why aren't you?
Because we think it's boring. And it's too much stress. For me, when I watch the football, it's too much stress. But sometimes I watch when there's a lot of people. It's fun. Yeah. But for women, it's boring, like a man for shopping.
Interesting.
Men hate shopping. So the women hate football.
But what is the
Also
relationship
because
between shopping and football?
Women like wasted money.
True, I agree.
Yeah.
Especially if it's their fathers or their husbands, that makes it easier to waste. Because it's not theirs from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also, the man will be very nervous when they watch the football match. So
women don't like this.
So they start shouting for her, for his kids.
True, that happens. Yeah, they get very nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, these are good opinions. What do you think? Do you agree, Malak? Do you think this is the reason why many people, many women don't like football?
I think if the women plays football, maybe they will interest in this game.
You think because they don't play it, they're not interested in it?
Yes.
Good opinion.
Maybe, but because the men played football, they didn't interest about men's game, because for men, this game for men, I think that that's the reason.
But there is a women's football team. I mean, there is a women's cup and...
Not a lot, maybe a few women. There are women like football and encourage teams.
And support their team.
I saw that, yes. Yes, but
most
I think
women,
this is for men, yeah.
Okay, interesting opinion. All right, so now we're going to listen and we are going to find out, it says, why don't Rebecca and Lisa like football? Okay, so let's listen and let's find out why Rebecca and Lisa don't like football. So let's listen.
38.
Is it 38? Yes.
And he's just outside the box. He shoots. It's just wide. And there goes the whistle for half-time here at Old Trafford.
That'll be Rebecca and Lisa, just in time for the second half.
Hi, honey. We're watching the football.
Hello, you two. Good match?
Yeah, United are winning 2-1.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I'm pleased you haven't wasted your afternoon.
Rebecca isn't very keen on football.
Well, I just think that most football fans are really rude and aggressive.
Well, some of them can be quite aggressive at times, I agree. But it's not as bad as it used to be when I was a boy. There was a lot more football violence then.
Yeah, I agree. On the whole, most fans just want to see a good game and have fun.
It's not much fun when your team loses, though, is it?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's the players I have a problem with, not the fans. I can't believe how much they get paid. Some of them get over £200,000 a week just for kicking a ball around. It's ridiculous.
Well, I agree that footballers tend to earn rather a lot of money. But you have to remember that football is part of the entertainment industry. Hundreds of millions of people are watching this match all around the world. That's why footballers get paid so much, because so many people want to see them play.
Yeah, singers and film stars get paid millions every year too, but you don't hear people complaining about that.
Well, I wouldn't mind so much if they behaved themselves. But every week you read stories about famous footballers getting into fights in nightclubs or crashing their Porsche into a tree and things like that.
That's not very sensible behaviour, is it?
I agree. But generally speaking, most footballers are just normal people and never get into any trouble. It's only a few who are a bit crazy.
Well, maybe. But I don't understand why men take football so seriously. Who wants to spend their weekends watching a group of millionaires kicking a ball around? I mean, it's only a game.
Well, perhaps some people can take it a bit too seriously. But what was it someone once said? Football isn't a matter of life and death. It's much more important than that.
Very funny. Anyway, I just don't want Harry growing up and becoming obsessed with football like you two are.
Too late. Look what Daniel's bought Harry.
Daniel!
Well, you have to get them when they're young, otherwise he might end up supporting Manchester City.
Oh, I give up.
Anyway, are you coming next door to help me with the washing machine? It still doesn't work.
I'd love to, but the second half is just about to start.
Come on. Let's leave the boys in peace.
Yeah, it's hard having 3 children to look after, isn't it?
Okay. So they mentioned some reasons about why they don't like football very much. You can remind me what were some of the points they mentioned, Rebecca and Lisa.
About money, cost money.
Yes, she'd mentioned money. What did she say about money exactly? The cost of money to
She
who?
talk about for her husband maybe a week. I can't remember the money how much he cost, but she angry about that.
Because the players took too much money.
That's right. Yeah, she's upset that footballers are paid so much. Okay, so this is one thing she doesn't like about football. Any other points? Anything else she mentioned? Any other reasons? Can you remember?
Don't remember exactly, but Rebecca's told something. She doesn't like football because I forget.
Okay, let me show you the questions. Maybe they'll help you remember. Let's try to complete these questions. Now, what I want you to do is just write the name of the person who said this. So, number 1, Rebecca isn't very keen on football. Number 2, someone says that there was more football violence when he was younger. Who said this? There's more football violence.
I think Daniel.
You think Daniel? Okay, so maybe Daniel said this, or do you think it's Charlie?
Maybe Charlie.
Okay. So one of them. All right.
They doesn't mention the name because.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard. To be honest, it's a little hard to know who is who because, we don't have the video. It's just audio, so we can't see who's speaking. So it makes it a little hard. But okay, who thinks footballers are paid too much?
Lisa. What's his name? Lisa. Yeah.
Is it Lisa?
Yeah.
Maybe the other name.
Maybe Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Maybe Rebecca, not
No,
Lisa. You think it's Lisa?
I think it's Lisa. Yeah.
Okay. Who says that football is part of the entertainment industry? Who said this? And what does it mean when we say football is part of the entertainment industry?
Make them happy. Make interesting for in his time.
Okay, correct. Yeah, this is the meaning of entertainment. But who said this? Who said football is part of the entertainment industry. But this is the meaning, you're right, Manak, yeah. So fun, interesting.
I think one of the men.
One of the men? Yeah, okay. Who said, this line is funny. It says, football isn't a matter of life and death. It's much more important than that. Who said this?
I think maybe Lisa.
Maybe Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think of the sentence?
There is something important more than football. Mm-hmm.
But it's actually, if you think of it, it says, football isn't a matter of life or death and death. It's much more important than that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's.
boys. I think.
Yeah. I think
One of the boys said it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think.
Correct. Yeah.
It's opposite.
One of the boys said it.
Who has a long hair?
I think that would be Daniel.
It's more important.
And what do you think of this sentence? Do you think he's being serious, or do you think it's just like a joke?
No, he is serious.
No.
The boys like football.
Correct. But the meaning of the sentence itself, what do you think?
We don't know because we didn't like football, so we can't say nothing.
Okay. But here it's a kind of a joke. So he says football isn't a matter of life and death. So if you say this alone, it will make it sound like football isn't important, right? But then in the second line, it says it's much more important than that. This is the joke. Do you get the idea? So the person starts by saying football is not important, and then he says it's very important. So it's kind of a joke. This is it. But you're right. You're right that they like football very much. The boys, Daniel and what's his name, Charlie. All right. Last point. Who gives Harry a Manchester United shirt? Who's Harry actually? By the way,
the baby.
The baby's Harry. Correct. Who gave the baby the Manchester United shirt?
I don't know what because they didn't mention who speak now. But we can recognize for the voice only, so we can.
Actually, in this one, in the last example, they actually did mention. But you're right. In the rest of them, it's a bit hard to say who said what. So I'm just going to take you to the script, and this way we can check who said what. So CD1 track 38. Let's listen. CD1 38. Here's 35, 36, 30, 37. Here's 38. Can you see it on the left side? It starts here.
Yes.
Okay, this is where it starts. So let's listen again and check.
Track 38.
And he's just outside the box. He shoots. It's just wide. And there goes the whistle for half-time here at Old Trafford.
That'll be Rebecca and Lisa.
Just in time for the second half.
Hi, honey. We're watching the football.
Hello, you two. Good match?
Yeah, United are winning 2-1.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I'm pleased you haven't wasted your afternoon.
Rebecca isn't very keen on football.
Well, I just think that most football fans are really rude and aggressive.
Well, some of them can be quite aggressive at times, I agree. But it's not as bad as it used to be when I was a boy. There was a lot more football violence then.
Yeah, I agree. On the whole, most fans just want to see a good game and have fun.
It's not much fun when your team loses, though, is it?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's the players I have a problem with, not the fans. I can't believe how much they get paid. Some of them get over £200,000 a week just for kicking a ball around. It's ridiculous.
Well, I agree that footballers tend to earn rather a lot of money. But you have to remember that football is part of the entertainment industry. Hundreds of millions of people are watching this match all around the world. That's why footballers get paid so much, because so many people want to see them play.
Yeah, singers and film stars get paid millions every year too, but you don't hear people complaining about that.
Well, I wouldn't mind so much if they behaved themselves. But every week you read stories about famous footballers getting into fights in nightclubs or crashing their Porsche into a tree and things like that. That's not very sensible behaviour, is it?
I agree. But generally speaking, most footballers are just normal people and never get into any trouble. It's only a few who are a bit crazy.
Well, maybe. But I don't understand why men take football so seriously. Who wants to spend their weekends watching a group of millionaires kicking a ball around? I mean, it's only a game.
Well, perhaps some people can take it a bit too seriously. But what was it someone once said? Football isn't a matter of life and death. It's much more important than that.
Very funny. Anyway, I just don't want Harry growing up and becoming obsessed with football like you two are.
Too late. Look what Daniel's bought Harry.
Daniel!
Well, you have to get them when they're young, otherwise he might end up supporting Manchester City.
Oh, I give up.
Anyway, are you coming next door to help me with the washing machine? It still doesn't work.
I'd love to, but the second half is just about to start.
Come on. Let's leave the boys in peace.
Yeah, it's hard having 3 children to look after, isn't it?
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's see how many names you remember. If we can't do it, I think we can skip it if you're not sure. Now, number 2, who thinks there was more football violence when he was younger? Who do you think said this? Was it Charlie or was it Daniel? Can you remember?
I think Charlie.
Correct, actually, Charlie did that. Charlie said that, correct. Who thinks that footballers are paid too much?
Elisa.
Actually, it's Rebecca, I think. Rebecca was the one who said they're paid too much. And who says that football is part of the entertainment industry?
Daniel.
Correct, that's right. Who thinks footballers are badly behaved?
Rebecca.
Correct. And who said that football isn't a matter of life or death? It's much more important than that.
I think it's Charlie.
Correct. Charlie said that. And who gave Harry a Manchester United shirt?
Daniel.
Right. That's it. All right. So this was a little conversation about football. Now let's move to this part. Now here, what they want us to do is basically match. So these phrases are used for softening opinions and making generalizations. So if you want to be polite and you don't want to be too aggressive or sound too aggressive when you're debating someone, it's a good idea to make generalizations, to talk generally. This way you don't offend the listening person. This is the idea. And you can see here, let me put it in the box for you. It says that sometimes English speakers soften their opinions so that they don't sound rude or offensive. All right. So this is the idea. Now let's match these. So, but sorry, just give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. But I'd like you to match number 1 to 6. I'd like you to match them with A to F. All right. So think a bit about them. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. All right, let's see your answers. So some of them can be what? What do you think is the right answer here?
Quite aggressive.
Okay, that's correct. Number 2. What do you think, Hajar? Number 2.
On the whole, most football players.
But we have most.
Yeah, yes. On the whole, most fans just want to see a good game.
Okay. What about number 3?
I think rather a lot of money.
Okay. Number 4?
That's not very sensible behavior, is it?
Right. Is it? And number 5, what do you think, Manak? Generally speaking,
most of football players are just normal people.
And the last one?
Perhaps some people can take it a bit too serious.
Right. Okay. So we want to now focus a little bit on what did the people do here in these expressions and why do we have these bold words? What's the point? What happened? Let's talk a little bit about this. So you can see here in this question, it says, look at these sentences again and choose the right answers here. It says, after tend, do we use, which one do we use? Do we use the infinitive or do we use verb plus ing? What do we use after we use tend?
Infinitive.
Correct. Because we say tend to earn, tend to go, tend to. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, I think we need to move a little bit down. Okay, so I think we can put back the answers. All right. So you're right. Infinitive is the correct answer. Okay, Malak, what about the second rule or the second point? Can you read it for us? What do you think is the right answer?
Rather quite, not very, and a bit usually come before after an adjective. Quite, right, rather and quite. Yes, and not very and bit usually come before an adjective.
You're right. Usually we put them before the adjective. That's correct. And the third point here, Hajar?
We often put generally speaking and on the whole at the beginning of a sentence.
You're right. That's it. Okay, so now we understand how to use the phrases, but let's try to understand them even a little more. Their function, what the point of using these, and how do these actually sound softer? What makes these phrases sound softer or less rude to the English listener? So let's talk a little bit about this. So if we check here, exercise C, part C. Now take a look at these these sentences. This is a nice example. So let me just put them in the box. So I'm going to read them. That's stupid behavior. That's not very sensible behavior. Which sentence is softer and more polite? What do you think?
Second one.
But why?
Second one, yeah.
You're right. You're right. Why? Why is the second
because
one?
We didn't use the words. We use beautiful words, not positive words, positive adjective.
Yes, because we use the positive adjective. We use sensible. right? We didn't say stupid. That's stupid behavior. So this is one technique, not using a negative adjective. And another thing, what did we do? In number 2, it says, do we use not very? Do we use it with a positive or a negative adjective?
Positive.
Yes. So instead of saying stupid, you can just say that's not very sensible.
But who can say this word when they are angry?
This is the art here, the art of
in a dream.
Yeah, because it's hard. But if you
Yeah.
can, if you for example, if you're having a discussion or a debate with someone you like, a friend, a sister, a brother, someone close, and you disagree strongly on a point, maybe you can show your disagreement without being too hard. You can do it in a soft way, and you can do this by softening your opinion. Of course, it's hard when you're angry, but if you're not angry and you just want to maybe get your point through, so for example, if I hear something I don't like from a friend or someone I respect, instead of saying that's a stupid idea, I would say, I don't know if that's a really good idea. I would say it like this. I do this in English, but not in Arabic. If I'm talking to in Arabic, usually I'll just say "أنت غبي غبي ولا غبي أنت."
Yeah.
I'll probably say it like
because
this.
if you talk with your friend or your sister or brother, and you say that word, they told you what you say.
Yeah, they'll probably answer شنو شنو قلت شنو. They'll open a whole new line of questions for why are you talking like this. So maybe this doesn't translate very well in Arabic, but I think we can even do it. حتى بليبي,
I think
if you think
even
of it.
in English and in everyday English, they doesn't do this with.
No, actually,
know,
you'd be surprised. They actually do this quite a lot, especially if they want to.
Maybe the British people, not in America.
Americans, it depends on the class of people you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a low class, or just people who are not very educated, probably not. They won't use this kind of language, because this is part of etiquette and decorum and how to talk properly, all of these things. So you'll probably find it in people who are educated, graduates, middle class or higher. They might have this, and you can sometimes hear it in their debates and in their discussions. They use other techniques to sound to be offensive. They use sarcasm a lot. Do you know sarcasm? Sarcasm. Yeah. So they're sometimes sarcastic in debates or in they'll try not to be directly offensive, but they might use sarcasm. Anyway, so all of these tips are just to make your argument and your discussion sound just a bit softer. Okay, I think we have time just for one exercise to take a look at this and use all of this. I think we can skip this. All right, let me show you what we're going to do now. So I'm going to let you see let me zoom in again, so this way we can see both pages together. All right, so let me show you what I'd like you to do here. Now, I don't know if you can see all of them. Okay. All right, can you see the box at the top here? I'm going to put it in a box. Can you see these? These 6 techniques, can you see them? We want to use them. We want to use them to disagree with these 6 opinions. All right. So let's imagine that we disagree with all these points. For example, let's say, you don't have to, but for example, right? So it says here, soften these opinions about children. So you can see number 1, it says, children don't do enough sport. This sounds a little too, it's like a slap on your face, you know, it's too direct. But if you can soften it a little bit, you can, you know, play with the words a little bit. So you can say, on the whole, most children don't do enough sport. Of course, we've made it a lot difficult now, right? It was you know, normal. It was normal present simple. We've made it complicated, but this makes it sound softer. Do you get the idea? Does it make sense what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Hajar, take number 2 here. They're very stubborn. So let's say this is your opinion on children. For example, I'd like you to soften this opinion. Make it sound a little softer using perhaps, tend to, and a bit.
Perhaps children tend to
Tend to, you need an infinitive.
Yeah. Tend to. Tend to.
What auxiliary did we use in the original sentence?
Stubborn.
No, stubborn is the adjective. What auxiliary?
So, they are
Right.
very.
Right.
Mhm.
So you're gonna use the infinitive of the auxiliary you just mentioned.
Yeah. Perhaps children tend to be. Tend to be a bit.
Good.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. What does it mean, stubborn?
Stubborn. Very angry or not very angry.
Let's see, maybe Malak can remind you. Malak, stubborn.
Very hungry.
Hungry?
Okay.
Hungry? Stubborn means hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? I think you are hungry, Malak.
No.
No.
Maybe they're children.
No.
They're children.
Maybe your children want dinner. Do they want dinner?
Maybe. Stubborn, I think, عنيد.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone who's, you know, not flexible. Someone who's doesn't want to. Okay, so that's correct. What you did is correct, Hajar. Perhaps children tend to be a bit stubborn, right? You can see that we made a big change to the sentence, but it sounds softer. That's the point. All right, very good. Now, Malak, what about number 3? Can you soften number 3? Make it sound softer.
Okay. They are very stubborn and
No, you have
number 3. Yes.
Yeah.
They're quite. They're quite not rude. Rude. They're quite.
But you didn't use can.
They're no.
Yeah, you need to use can.
Just a minute, okay? I have to do something.
Okay. Okay, take number 4, and Hajar can do number 3. So take number 3, Hajar. Number 3 is actually almost the same as number 2, the same technique.
Can.
You have to say they.
Oh, okay. They can. They can be. They can be quite
Right.
rude at the times. Their teachers.
Okay, take a look at the box at the top left. How did we use at times? Where did we put it?
At time. Oh, okay, at the end. Okay. So they can be rude. They can be rude. Can be rude.
But
Quite.
soften.
No.
Yeah. Where do we put quite?
Quite. They can be quite rude.
Right.
To their teachers at times.
That's it. They can be quite rude to their teachers at times. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 4.
The same idea, the same thing, Malak.
Okay. Most of them. Most of them can be.
You mean some of them? You mean?
Yes. Oh yeah. Some of them can be. Some of them can be unhealthy. Some of them can be something.
But here,
not very healthy.
Why did you use can? We don't have can in the options.
Some of them I say.
Okay.
Because I see here some of them.
Right.
Can be.
Why did you use can?
Because I see at the sentence. Okay. What can I use?
You just use the...
Okay, some of them not very.
But you forgot verb to be. Some of them, verb to be, not very. That's it.
Are not very healthy.
That's it.
Okay.
Some of them are not very healthy, right?
Yes.
Some of them are not very healthy. Okay, that's good. Hajar, what about number? We can do number 5 too, Malak.
Okay. On the wall. Not on the wall. Not on the wall.
On the whole.
On the whole, yes. On the whole, they watch. On the whole, on the whole, must
use the ones you have in the Ben Laqwas here in the brackets. Can you see them?
Yes, on the whole, they tend to. They tend to watch. They tend to watch a lot of TV.
And how can you soften a lot? You can use quite.
Yes, quite TV.
Quite a lot of TV. On the whole, they tend to watch quite a lot of TV.
Quite a lot of TV, yes.
Right. Okay. Hajar, what about number 6?
Generally speaking, are not very ambitious.
But here you have to change it to positive.
Yeah. Generally speaking.
They're not very.
Are not very.
You have to put it in opposite.
Patient, yeah.
That's it. Generally speaking, they're not very patient. Correct. Okay. Generally speaking, they're not very patient. What about number 7, Malak?
Okay, some of them can be.
Mhm.
Some of them can be. Where is it? What is the
Here.
sentence?
Here, number 7.
Yes, some of them can be rather than,
Without than.
rather selfish at times.
That's it. Some of them can be rather selfish at times. Mhm. And the last one, Hadi?
Perhaps they, some of them is become first. Yeah.
Correct. And
Some
you
of them.
Mhm.
They.
Without they.
Okay. Some of them spent.
Mhm.
Some of them spend too much, a bit much time.
A bit too much.
Time.
A bit too much.
A bit too much. A bit too much time playing video games.
That's it. Perhaps some of them spend a bit too much time playing video games. Mhm. All right, so you can see what we're doing in this lesson. It sounds a little weird, I know, and maybe a bit complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we're making the sentence a lot harder. It's normal, and then we played around and made it harder. But we're doing all of this just to sound, softer or gentler. And if you listen to public debates in English, especially if it's between people who are, famous or thinkers, writers, they use a lot of this language, by the way. So you won't see it on the news, you won't see it in a movie, but in real debates, they use this. Anyways, we'll finish the rest in our next lesson. And we'll also talk a little bit about comparatives, superlatives. Some of it is, I think, maybe repeated from pre-intermediate, but there are a few points which might be new in our next lesson, especially the vocab. We have lots of vocab related to houses and homes and that kind of thing. All right, so that's all for tonight. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
again next week.
Thanks.
Have a good
Good
weekend.
night, all.
Good night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.